This is Classic FM from Global.
It's Saturday night, time for Next Level with me, DanTDM. This week, we're going back in time to celebrate retro games. Let's start with Sonic.
Next Level with DanTDM.
Such a fantastic arrangement. That was the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra playing Tomoya Atani's music for Sonic. You're listening to Next Level on Classic FM. Hello, I'm DanTDM, looking after the music until 10 o'clock tonight. And this episode is all about retro games. There are lots of soundtracks that you'll recognize over the next hour, with orchestral versions of video game music that's set to make you feel really nostalgic. I've got an email here from Stephen in Cardiff who says, I grew up watching DanTDM play all sorts of games, and I'm now 18 years old and applying to universities to become an engineer, something that wouldn't have happened without Dan. I'd love to hear my favorite video game theme, Korobeiniki, otherwise known as the Tetris theme. Well, Stephen, after an email that nice, how could I refuse? It started out as a Russian folk song, but then in the 1980s, the Soviet computer programmer Alexei Pajitnov came along and used it for his puzzle game, Tetris. This is what it sounds like with added orchestra. That was the London Philharmonic Orchestra and their take on the Tetris theme tune. If you want to hear some music on Next Level, do what Stephen did and email me via the Classic FM website. Click on my face and scroll to the form where you can write your name and tell me what you'd like to hear. I wanted to do an episode covering retro games because honestly, they're my personal favorites. There's something about the pixel graphics and 8-bit music that I just absolutely love. I also get to showcase how incredible some of these soundtracks are when arranged for a full orchestra. From bleeps and bloops to huge symphonies, I think that's always amazing to listen to. And we couldn't do a show like this without one of the most successful gaming franchises out there. Since it began in 1987, Final Fantasy has become a blockbuster series with incredible music to match. Here's the original theme tune from the very first game, written by Nobuo Uematsu.
Next Level with DanTDM.
On Classic FM.
That was the theme from Prince of Persia, from the video game master Enon Zur, who is quickly becoming a regular on Next Level. You're listening to Classic FM, and I can't wait to play music from Pokemon, Kirby, and Mario Kart. There's so much orchestral music coming up tonight from games that take you back in time, just like Donkey Kong Country. I've played music from this game before on Classic FM, and I had to bring it back for retro games because it's one of the games I grew up with. Who knew being fired out of barrels could be that much fun? Donkey Kong Country brings high energy most of the time, but this track has a slightly different feel, and I think you'll like it. Here is Aquatic Ambience by David Wise. That was Aquatic Ambience from Donkey Kong Country, played by Polygon Piano and written by British composer David Wise, who cites Prokofiev and Duran Duran as some of his musical influences. I love bringing video game scores to a wider audience on Classic FM every week, but I also really enjoy discovering classical music that is featured on gaming soundtracks. It feels like two of the worlds colliding. And my next piece is legendary. It's appeared on so many soundtracks. Izzy told me that it's popped up in The Evil Within, which is somehow a decade old now. I'm not sure if this counts as a retro game just yet, but soon. And Max in Blackburn is 13. He says, I got into classical music because of your Forza Horizon video. That's so great to hear. Max says this piece of music shows up in Forza Horizon 4, but it also shows up in Gran Turismo on the classical radio station in the cars, as well as Peggle Nights, Ultra Kill, Cyberpunk, and Persona 2. I'm talking about Debussy's Clair de Lune. Turn this up loud. It's going to sound so good. That was Debussy's Clair de Lune, played by Daniel Barenboim. And if you liked what you heard there, stick around for Calm Classics tonight. Mylene Class plays music to help you unwind every Friday and Saturday night from 10. Before she arrives, we're going to hear a track that takes you on a journey through space. Expect calm moments and climbing scores. That's coming next on Classic FM.
Classic FM.
Right now, you can get hearing devices from only £495 at Specsavers. Now, we know what you're thinking. Oh, if they're that cheap, they're bound to be those big old-fashioned ones that do this kind of thing, as well as this kind of thing. But actually, they just do this kind of thing. Clear sound from a piece of tech so small you can barely see it. All from only £495. So book a free hearing check at Specsavers now. Because OK hearing is not OK. Terms and conditions apply. See our website for details.
At Matalan, the sale has landed. Shop up to 50% off across women's, men's and kids styles, plus homeware too. And don't miss 3 for 2 across selected kids fashion. You get the cheapest item free. Shop in-store, online at matalan.co.uk and via the app now. T's and C's apply. Selected lines only.
You may have heard of pure cremation, but do you know what a pure cremation funeral is? It's as respectful and dignified as a traditional funeral. When someone dies, Pure take them into their care. The cremation takes place at Pure's own crematorium in beautiful Parkland. Then, Pure return the ashes to loved ones personally, in an urn. But there are no funeral director's fees, so a Pure cremation could be half the price. And there's no rushed impersonal ceremony at the crematorium, so you can arrange a fitting send-off whenever you're ready. To find out more, call our friendly team or go online to get your free quote now.
You are not a sponge. You do not belong in a bucket. But when it comes to retirement plans, that's just where some people get put. Not at Fisher Investments UK. We treat you as an individual, tailoring retirement advice that's just right for just you. Fisher Investments UK. Retirement advice that's as individual as you are. Learn more at fisherinvestments.co.uk. Investing involves the risk of loss. Fisher Investments UK is regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority.
At StaySure, we've helped over 12 million people feel travel sure. We'll cover most pre-existing medical conditions with no age limit. Maybe that's why our customers have given us over 340,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot. Put the sure in your travel insurance. Visit staysure.co.uk now and save 20%. Discount is on base price and excludes additional premiums for pre-existing medical conditions and add-ons. New policies only. Ends 28th of Feb. T's and C's apply.
Oh, how relaxing was that yoga session. I feel so free.
Speak for yourself. I can never let go. Bladder leaks.
I know, right? I'm so done compromising. I got a new bit of yoga kit. Always discreet pads. Here, try for yourself next week.
Love you lots, but this thin pad won't keep up with my heavy leaks.
Just trust me on this one. So, all zen and liberated, are we?
Let's just say I found my flow.
Always discreet. Live with no compromise.
Next Level with DanTDM.
On Classic FM.
Taking us all the way back to 1994 with that one. A symphonic poem played by Andrew Skeet and the London Philharmonic Orchestra, and it was Kenji Yamamoto and Minako Hamano's score for Super Metroid, recommended by Brandon in Hull, who said it's the first game his dad introduced him to. Brandon, I hope you and your dad enjoyed hearing that orchestral take on an absolute classic. Playing all of these retro games makes me think about when I was growing up. I remember accidentally seeing my dad bringing in the Super Nintendo that they got me for my birthday. And ever since I received it, I haven't really stopped playing games. Me and my brother would share the screen time on our big old TVs, taking turns trying to beat the next level. I think Super Mario World was my first game, which I recently went back and fully completed. Some of the design and soundtracks in that game are so enjoyable. Maybe I can squeeze one of them in a future show. Anyway, enough reminiscing. It's time for a release from 1995. It's the soundtrack for Mortal Kombat 3 on Classic FM. That was The Pit from Mortal Kombat 3. It's written by a guy called Dan Toasty Forden, who was part of the original design team for Mortal Kombat. Although you might not recognize his name, if you've played the games, you'll probably recognize his face because he pops up and says Toasty if you did the perfect uppercut. Right, shout out to Toby in the Wirral for this next suggestion. It reminds him of his very first console. And Sam in Birmingham, who says Next Level helps her with revision, wants to hear music from one of the best games ever, Pokemon. I agree, Sam. Pokemon Red and Blue in particular are such good games. The music as well is just so ingrained in my brain from childhood that every time I hear it, I'm transported back to sitting in the back of the car playing it on my Game Boy. Here is the opening theme to Pokemon Red and Blue. That is such a great performance too. I'll never get tired of hearing that one. The opening theme from Pokemon Red and Blue, written by Junichi Masuda, orchestrated by Braxton Burks. This is Classic FM, where it's time for another trip down memory lane. Kirby is such a fun franchise, which you can definitely tell by that soundtrack. That was Jun Ishikawa's music for Kirby's Dream Land 3. And I'm dedicating that one to Louisa and her gamer girls, Naomi and Karina, Ashwin in Bath, Rin in Reading, and Jolie, who actually hooked me up with that amazing recording from the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra. Jolie told me about the album that they released in 2017, celebrating the game's 25th anniversary, perfect for Classic FM. The memories have been flooding back to me the entire show today, and I hope I've managed to play some of your favorites too. I've still got a couple more to go, starting with Mallrat from The Sims 1 by Jerry Martin.
Next Level with DanTDM.
On Classic FM.
I'm so pleased we managed to get that on the show. Mario Kart has to be in my top 3 games of all time, and that was Rainbow Road from Mario Kart Wii by Ryo Nagamatsu. Just before that, we had Mallrats by Jerry Martin from The Sims 1. So that's where I have to leave you this week. I'm so grateful for all of the suggestions you sent my way. Your contributions make Next Level sound even better. And if you want to get ahead of the curve for next week's show, I'm going to be looking at the trend of turning video games into movies and TV shows. Get your suggestions to me now via the Classic FM website, and I'll meet you back here next Saturday at 9.
Classic FM.